Hey, we are Mark and Karina, and in today's video we're taking you on an adventure to one of the most stunning mountain ranges in Europe, the Dolomites.
The Dolomites are located in North Italy, and we've picked for you the top 5 must-visit spots that will blow your mind. So buckle up and let's dive right in.
Alright, number 1 in no specific order is Alpe Di Siusi, also known as Seceda Alm in German. This is Europe's largest high-altitude alpha meadow, known for its breathtaking views and expansive meadows. This area sits at an elevation of 1,800 meters, and to get up here, you can take the gondola, the cable car, and the cost of the gondola does differ depending on where you're coming from. We paid 32 euros each from St. Ulrich, and this is also where we park. Now parking does also depend on where you park. So if you are going to park inside a car park building, you probably will pay around 20 to 30 euros per day. But lucky enough, we did find a park outside just past the car park building for 7 euros per day. So that was a bargain. And the best part, it's just right outside where you buy the ticket to take the gondola. But I must say, to get up to Alpe Di Siusi, there are many different ways. There's another entrance to take the gondola in different areas, but you can also take the bus. If you are up for some adventures, you can hike from A to Z. This will take about 2 to 3 hours, and it does offer some stunning scenery along the way up. Now there's a perfect stunning view right at the back where you can see the peaks. Even if you're lucky, you'll be able to see them when there's no clouds. There are 4 of us, our friends. We are traveling with Leia and also Zoe, and we found this place one of the most stunning places to take some nice photos, and you can spend hours and hours there.
Something I'd like to add is you can also purchase like a 3-day pass or like a 5-day pass, which might be helpful if you're gonna stick around in the area and want to do some more hikes or want to see more places, which brings us to our next spot. Number 2, Seceda. This spot, perched at around 2,500 meters, offers panoramic views of the iconic Dolomites. We took the gondola up for 45 euro, but if you prefer hiking, you can reach the top from Ortisei via a 4-hour trail that's well worth the effort for those who love a good trek. From the top, you get panoramic views of the iconic Dolomite peaks. It's like stepping into a postcard. Whether you're into hiking or just soaking up the scenery, Seceda is a must-see. So don't miss out, guys. The views are absolutely stunning, and it's a true paradise for photographers and nature lovers.
But nevertheless, this has been so far one of my favorite spots here in the Dolomites. Definitely add this to your bucket list. It's not so hard, everyone can do it. Literally, you just pay the cable car and you take a short 10 to 15 minute walk. Find the perfect spot, the walkway, the viewpoint over there, or you can even walk as close as you can get to Seceda itself. And number 3, Lago di Braies, also known as Emerald Lake. Now you can't miss this because this is one of the most iconic spots in the Dolomites. In fact, it is one of my favorite. The lake is like a mirror. Honestly, to get to this spot, it took us about 2 hours from our accommodation, so you gotta plan ahead to get here. So when you get here, the first thing you might consider is parking. So parking, we paid about 17 euros. We stayed about 2 to 3 hours, including having some food after. But when you get here, you do wanna get super early, like between 7 or 8 a.m., especially if you do wanna go on one of those really cool, iconic roaring boats that really give you this nice close feel of what it's like to be in the lake itself. Now, talking about the boat, let's talk about prices. So you could do it as a shared boat if you are traveling like a solo travel and there's only 2 of you and you want to do it cheaper and you don't want to pay 50 euros. You could do a joint tour, but bear in mind you do have to wait a bit longer because they need to fill up the boats. Now, private boat is probably the best, especially if there's a group of us, there's 4 of us. We paid 50 euros per boat, and there was us four. It was perfect. Now, how much can you fit in a private boat? You are allowed up to 5 packs, so 5 people. And to me, this was really good. We did come quite early, so we did get to see the lake without the boats. But you will see a queue of people lining up. So I guess this is one of the places on the Dolomites you do want to come early for. That's a pro tip right there. And I must say, the view of the lake, like I said, and the mountain back of the Dolomites, especially when you go on the boat, is one of the most beautiful spots, especially for you Instagram lovers out there, because it is a grand spot right there. And the amount of turns we took, we got Karina on the rowing, we got Leia, we got Zoe, we all took photos. Again, Lago di Braies, amazing crystal clear water surrounded by the towering peaks of the Dolomites.
Number 4, Cadini Di Misurina. But before we go any further, when you do get here, you will be entering through the national park, and there will be a national park fee of 30 euro per car. This is also where the famous 3 peaks, the Drehsalms, is located, or are located, and which is huge and visible from when you park up. Due to our time constraints, we chose to go to Cadini Di Misurina viewpoint instead. Also, it is less crowded and you can just enjoy the mountains a little bit more in quiet and don't have like this huge ends of people walking with you. This place requires a bit of effort, a 45-minute hike with loose gravel and narrow cliff paths, but trust me, it's absolutely worth it. So I really enjoyed this hike because, first of all, the views are breathtaking and you get to see lots of cows just chilling on the meadow, and they look so cute, those cows, like very different to cows we are used to see in New Zealand. And yeah, in general the walk is just really amazing, like we really enjoyed it.
It's very, very jaw-dropping, like the mountain feels closer even though it's far away, which is the spectacle little ad that we see. Also, I would say if you're going to do this hike, it's really good right in the morning or right in the afternoon, not in the middle like we did it, because it was super hot. So when you do this hike, you're open, which means definitely bring your sunny glasses or a hat just
Put
to keep
sunscreen
dry.
on.
And bring some water.
Yes.
Bring some water. And number 5, Passo Giau. Hopefully I said that last part. It's so hard to pronounce these Italian names. Now this place is very, very nice and easy to get to. It's nice and elevated, so the way here is very scenic, which attracts a lot of motorbikes, cyclists, or people all around the world because it's such a nice curvy road, and it's famous for that, especially the hairpin. When I say hairpin, we're talking about like a sharp 90-degree sort of turn. It is a mountain pass connecting Cortina d'Ampezzo with Selva di Cadore and Val Fiorentina in the province of Belluno. The pass is extremely scenic, since here you have a view of the most beautiful peaks of the Dolomites. The drive here is insanely beautiful. The directions and signs to get here is very clear, so you won't miss it. And to get here, you don't have to pay for any national park fee, so it's easy to get to. This mountain pass sits at an elevation around 2,236 meters. Now, we didn't do any major hikes here, but we did stop to admire the views and took some incredible photos and even a drone shot of that famous winding road. So if you're a drone lover, here's a shot from above of this beautiful sort of curvy road. Definitely a great spot, and honestly it's a nice drive. So when you're out here, stop whenever you see a nice view, when it's safe to do so. Take some photos because it's once in a lifetime experience to get here. Another thing I want to just add is that we did have 3 nights, 4 days. If you have a lot more time, you can spread your itinerary. So
yeah, I think we would recommend like at least 4 to 5 days in the Dolomites. That gives you enough time to explore and not rush too many places in one day, because you also have to calculate like driving to the places, and also maybe you will be tired after a hike, so you can only do 1 or 2 spots in one day.
And like everyone says, you know, the early bird gets the worm. So coming in early means you're gonna see all these spots in full glory without the crowds.
Alright guys, that's a wrap on our top 5 must-see places in the Dolomites. But stick around, we have a few more bonus tips for you.
So a few things we want to add to is a few things. First, when is the best time to travel the Dolomites? Now, the Dolomites is an all year around destinations all over the world, attracting so many different people, from hiking, cycling, motorbiking, right even to skiing in the winter season. So there are two peak seasons. One in summer, right from June to August, which offers lush landscape and perfect for hiking and biking. And in the winter time, December to February transforms the area to a world-class skiing paradise. But if you want less crowd, travel off-peak shoulder seasons of spring. And that is between May to early June, and autumn, September to October. Bear in mind that these shoulder seasons may be cheaper, less crowds, but you do have milder weather that you have to think about. And the next one is where to stay. Now we recommend staying in Canazei, Val Gardena, or Cortina d'Ampezzo. Apologies for my pronunciation. These are the two most convenient places to stay because it offers a lot more accommodation, food and dining options, and in fact you're a bit more closer to some of these spots in the Dolomites. Now there's way more than 5 spots to visit in the Dolomites, but these are what we covered. But basing yourself in a convenient location like this will be easier. We ended up booking quite late, so we ended up in a place called Canazei, which is a small town village, and we stayed in a place called Apart Hotel Princess. Now it was quite a nice accommodation, it's a little tiny. We paid about 656 euros for 3 nights for 4 people, and we thought that's a great price. Now, if you have a rental car, which is the most efficient way to travel to Dolomites, it wasn't a big problem for us because we didn't mind driving. Apart from walls, you will get used to the curvy roads and the windy roads in the Dolomites.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a pretty good price. Again, 656 euros for 3 nights for 4 of us, and that's about 1,134 New Zealand dollars. But do check for the prices, book in advance, because if you're traveling in peak season, be prepared to pay a lot more when you're staying in these two places, especially Cortina. And that's it. So if you enjoyed this video,
Give it a thumbs up.
let us know in the comments below which place you'd like to see more, or if you have any other tips. If you've been, let us know in the comments so we can help each other out. But like anything else, thank you for watching.
And we see you in the next one.